Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna with all your heart. Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Together, Hare Krishna, with all your heart, Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। श्री श्रीनिताई गौरांग भगवान की। श्रील प्रभुपाद की। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 25. उच्चिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजैः सकृत्स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्तकिल्बिषः। एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसः तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते। उच्चिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजैः सकृत्स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्तकिल्बिषः। एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसः तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते। उच्चिष्टलेपान् अनुमोदितो द्विजैः सकृत्स्म भुञ्जे तदपास्तकिल्बिषः। एवं प्रवृत्तस्य विशुद्धचेतसः तद्धर्म एवात्मरुचि प्रजायते। Please chant. Mataji's. Word-to-word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Uchistalepan, the remnants of foodstuff. Anumodita, being permitted. Dvijay by the Vedantis Brahmanas. Sakrit once upon a time. Sma in the past. Bhunje took. Tat by that action. Apasta eliminated. Kilbisha all sins. Evam thus. Pravritasya being engaged. Vishuddha chetasa of one whose mind is purified. That particular. Dharma nature. Eva certainly. Atmaruchi transcendental attraction. Prajayate was manifested. Once only by their permission I took the remnants of the food, and by so doing all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. Purport. Pure devotion is as much infectious in a good sense as infectious diseases. A pure devotee is cleared from all kinds of sins. The purity of Godhead is the pure. Unless one is really pure from the infection of material qualities, one as them. Such remnants may be without permission of the pure devotees. There are sometimes pseudo devotees, and one should be very much cautious about them. There are many things which hinder one from entering devotional service, but by the association of pure devotees, all these obstacles are removed. The neophyte devotee becomes practically enriched with the transcendental qualities of the pure devotee, which means attraction for the personality of Godhead's name, fame, quality, pastimes, etc. Infection of the qualities of the pure devotee means to imbibe the taste of pure devotion always in the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. This transcendental taste at once makes all material things distasteful. Therefore, a pure devotee is not at all attracted by material activities. After the elimination of all sins or obstacles in the path of devotional service, one can become attracted. One can have steadiness. One can have perfect taste. One can have transcendental emotions. And at last, one can be situated on the plane of loving service of the Lord. All these stages develop by the association of pure devotees, and that is the purport of this stanza. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. So we are very grateful to Prem Svarupa. Today we are very fortunate that we are having a wonderful association of His Grace Prem Svarupa Prabhu. Hare Bo. So we welcome all of you to Durga Puja camp at ISKCON Newtown. Hare Bo. And in this Durga Puja camp we are beginning by a wonderful association of His Grace Prem Svarupa. How many of you are first time hearing from Prem Svarupa? Anyone here? Okay, some of you are hearing first time. So I'll give a brief introduction of Prabhuji. So His Grace Prem Svarupa Prabhu entered in IIT Kharagpur way back 22 years back, right, in 2002. So Prabhu did his graduation in mechanical engineering from IIT Kharagpur, and while he was doing that, he became a pioneering devotee to make IIT Kharagpur voice in IIT Kharagpur. So he was one of the very beginning devotees to do that, and because he was such a loving, caring personality and a very wonderful preacher, so senior devotees Radhashyam Prabhu requested him that if you can stay back and do MTech also. So after completing his BTech, he gave GATE exam and he did 2 more years of MTech, not like dual degree, but separate 2 years of MTech, so that he can give practically 6 years of association to the students in the voice. And he played the role of overall coordinator. I remember when I was there, and voice Prabhu was our OC, and he sheltered us, cared for us. And even while he was in IIT Kharagpur, he was traveling to NIT Jamshedpur, and he was pioneer to open another voice center in NIT Jamshedpur. Haribo. And after Prabhu passed out, he was sheltering the devotees in NIT Jamshedpur simultaneously. And after Prabhu passed out, then Prabhu did his job in Calcutta, and he was simultaneously preaching in Calcutta. And then finally, Prabhu decided to dedicate his life for the mission of Srila Prabhupada, for spreading Krishna consciousness, especially to the youths. He has been very kind and affectionate to youths and doing lot of preaching and lot of sheltering. He is sheltering devotees not only just while they are in college, but after they pass out. Many of them are sheltered here in this temple in different, whether brahmachari ashram or grahastha ashram. Prabhu is very, very sheltering and caring. So Prabhu after that also became pioneer in preaching in IIT Dhanbad. Prabhu opened the voice center in IIT Dhanbad. Revo. So, and he was regularly traveling there, and he stabilized, he would, for years and years, Prabhu went to make sure that the Dhanbad preaching becomes very nice. And so many devotees from Dhanbad have got sheltered also here. So Prabhu has been, and also in Calcutta also Prabhu preached in different colleges. So Prabhu has been very pioneering, but he is also simultaneously very surrendered. So when it was needed, the seniors asked him that now instead of youth preaching, you help in the temple management and caring for the brahmacharis, helping the many different big people in Calcutta. They can become devotees. So Prabhu started doing that, and when he was taking care of brahmacharis, he sheltered many brahmacharis, very loving, caring, encouraging. And currently, Prabhu is also a temple council member of this temple, one of the senior most devotee here. And also Prabhu is cultivating many big people who have material wealth, but they do not have a spiritual wealth. So Prabhu is going to them and give them the real wealth, that is spiritual wealth, right? So Prabhu is very kind and compassionate to all of them also. So Prabhu is known for his very sweet kathas and loving, encouraging talks for all class of people. So we are so fortunate that we are beginning our Durga Puja camp with Bhagvatam class by Prabhuji. So let us welcome Prem Svarupa, and we'll have many more classes For ISKCON disciple, course devotees, Drishti devotees, everyone will get the association of Prabhuji and further in this camp. So let us welcome Prabhuji by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to serve. So I seek blessings of all devotees. I'll speak in English because we are having Durga Puja camp. So this is a very beautiful verse, and I think I would say it's like a prelude. Prelude means before the beginning. We're going to have so much association of so many Bhakti Vedantas and wonderful devotees. His great Chaitanya Charan Prabhu will be here, His great Radheshyam Prabhu will be here, many senior devotees here, and in the association of devotees, and there will be a lot of Uchchista Lepan Anumoditam. Prabhupada says, even if there is no Anumodita. So, this verse is actually the science of Krishna consciousness, how Krishna consciousness works. And we will try to read from Srila Prabhupada's writings and lectures on this aspect. And if we can be blessed or revealed of these principles, then we can really make a lot of spiritual wealth. A lot of spiritual wealth, and we can make a lot of advancement. This is Chaturmas going on. So just like Narada boy was in Chaturmas, so we are also here in Chaturmas, few days, and in the close-knit association of devotees, while the temperature and the weather is hostile and changing. But if we can apply the principles what Narad Muni is speaking to Vyasadeva, his own experience, maybe by the time we conclude the camp, we will also develop deep attraction for what the Bhakti Vedantas have. So I think we should begin this whole attempt with a prayer. A prayer that in all this attendance of being here, associating, doing kirtan, taking prasadam, hearing, in the conclusion we would like to develop the same attraction for Krishna, for devotional service. And thus Narada said, at once, that transcendental attraction entered my heart and all my sins were eradicated. So we would like the same blessings, and Narada and Vyasadeva actually want us to be blessed in a similar way. Hare Krishna. So first of all, speaking on the science of Krishna consciousness, the first question that will appear in everyone's mind, why be Krishna conscious? The word here it says is Jai Shishinitai Gauranga Bhagavan Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki. The first aspect of discussion be why I should become Krishna conscious. Why should Krishna consciousness be my attraction? Prabhupada speaks on the word Atma Ruchi, Eva Atma Ruchi. So the word Atma, depending on the evolution of consciousness, means different things. Everybody in this world is looking for Atma Ruchi. Whatever you do in this world, you are looking for some kind of ras, some kind of ruchi, some kind of pleasure. Yes or no? If you do not get that ruchi, how long can you do the same activity? So the first conception of Atma is body. So when a person is on the bodily platform, what is his ras and ruchi come from? How I can satisfy my senses. So when Prahlad Maharaj starts speaking Harikatha to the demoniac schoolmates, they say, Prahlad, wait. We are right now very young and our senses are so strong. So we should now enjoy very enthusiastically, Prahlad. This is what our gurus have told us, Shand and Amark. And when we become very old, good for nothing, our senses become completely worn out, at that time, Prahlad, we should talk this subject matter. That time this Krishna consciousness should be our subject. Right? So everybody in this world is of the same proposition. Right? Anybody you tell them, please take to Krishna consciousness, they say, we are young. You know, when we become 50, 60, at that time we will talk about this subject matter. But the time never comes. Right? So right now the consciousness of everybody is in the body, karma, trying to satisfy my senses, establish a position, have my name, fame. This is what everybody is busy in, karma. And an interesting thing happens in this world. When you enjoy, you become attached. Right? And somehow or the other, these attachments will be questioned in this world. Somebody will not like it. Like Arjuna was having good time, but then up faced with his attachments to kill Drona and Bhishma, he was shaken up. So when your attachments are questioned and when your sense gratification is sincerely obstructed, at that time a person gets into mental speculation. He gets on to the platform of Atma being the mind. And then busily he starts speculating, how do I get out of this frustration? What is good for me? Is it good for me to fight? Or is it good for me to retrace? Or is it good for me to abandon? Like this, every person when he becomes frustrated in enjoyment becomes philosophical. Right? Frustration leads to mental speculation. But manorathena satadhavato vahi. Because the environment of speculation is again material energy, you will again fall back into the material energy much lower than where you began. Right? So for example, you started here, frustration, and you speculate, and then you fall down to a conclusion which is much lower. Right? That is what happens in this material world. So karma and jnana, everybody is busy enjoying and getting out of their frustrated attempts for enjoyment. This is what everyone is doing. It is said, Shankaracharya is also lamenting. What are people doing? All the spiritualists are lamenting. All the Vedantists are lamenting. And he says, Balastava kriya sakta tarunistava taruni rakta vredhastavat chinta magana parame brahmani ko bina lagana bhaja govindam bhaja govindam govindam bhaja mudhamate. Shankaracharya is speaking this verse and saying that I am lamenting this whole world when people are children. Balastavat kriyasak. The only subject matter of a child, games, video games, and the troubles over that. And as the child grows up, tarunistavat taruni sakta. As the person concludes his gaming, he gets into real-time gaming, engage in affairs of sex and lust. And that only he is busy for a decade or more. And then he goes up into a family relationship and responsibilities. Vriddhastavat chinta magna. How will my family get settled? My son is not yet settled. How to settle him? How to get my daughter married? How to make permanent investments? So he says, in this way, childhood kriya, taruni avastha, taruni rakta, and vriddha avastha, chinta magna. But parame brahmani ko apina lagna. Kisi ka lagna ब्रह्मन को पता लगाने में, भगवान को पता लगाने में या कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस होने में नहीं है. फैमिली कॉन्शियसनेस, हाँ, enjoyment of senses or playful life. Everybody is busy wanting this and make investments for this. Nobody feels I should become Krishna conscious. And what does Krishna consciousness mean? You fall in love with Krishna. Basically, you become a lover. You want to serve Krishna, please Krishna, get into an affair with him. And this is the infection of the Bhakti Vedantas. The Bhakti Vedantas, or the great devotees of the Lord, they have no material infection. They are not into karma jnana. They are only into Atma Ruchi, which is Ruchi for the soul or the super soul or for Bhakti. That is their subject matter. So basically, what Narada is speaking to Vyasadeva is how to make this transition. How to make this transition from where we are to becoming a lovers of Krishna right at this point of time. He was a child. The qualification of Narada boy is he was cursed. His qualification, he was a Dasi Putra, no father to even take care of his future. No resources, nothing. What can Narada boy qualify himself for? But then, the association of the sadhus and the Bhakti Vedantas, what did it develop in his heart? Attraction for Krishna. So what should we look for when we come in the association of devotees? How to develop our attraction for Krishna, attraction for devotion. That is the commodity for which one comes in the association of devotees. Right? Or, if you're in the association of devotees, this is what is going to happen in our lives. You know, and all of us have a practical experience of what Narada is speaking to Vyasadeva. You know, like I was also reflecting when I was preparing this class, and I was thinking, how did this happen to me? Right? I never intended in my life that I should become a renunciate, I should become a sadhu and have a lifestyle trying to love Krishna or serve Krishna. How did it happen? Did I ever dream in my childhood? Did I dream in the youthhood? Or did the advertisement billboards inspire me? Think like a monk. It never happened. And when I came to the Premier Institute in the engineering, I never thought about it. I was always aiming at, you know, the moon. Whatever is the best possible qualification that one can have is what I would like to have. I would like to be the best, then the rest. This is my need. And everybody, Atma Ruchi means how can I establish myself? This is what was my aspiration and most probably each of our aspiration. कुछ बन के दिखाना है, फिर दुनिया देख के क्या करेगी? ताली मारेगी. Right? This is what I wanted. And then I was just reflecting that accidentally I met devotees. Never intending. Initially I missed the devotees. I thought they are seniors who want to rag me. You know, sincerely. But then later somehow, by some mysterious arrangement, I got to the association of devotees and started chanting Hare Krishna. And then looking at the devotees, I became very puzzled because these were seniors and they didn't tend to behave like seniors. They were supposed to, by nature, rag. But they were not ragging, they were not bragging, but they are serving. Can you know, like to take some prasadam? You know, why don't you come for this? They are giving all the commitment of time to give me Krishna consciousness. Then I became very confused. I thought, why are they so much khatirdari? You know, मैंने उनका क्या किया है? मेरे कुल ने क्या उनके ऊपर कुछ आशीर्वाद दिया है? is there some secret arrangement? And I found none of them are from South India. So I don't know, dur tak, no relationship also. Then I said I should find out what are these fellows about. And I thought maybe before sacrificing an animal, you feed him nicely. Put a nice mala, put a nice tilak. On Vijaya Dashmi Muhurt, the reality will be exposed. So I thought maybe these fellows are also into the same program. So I stuck with them to reveal the mystery that was not spoken. And while being with them, trying to unveil this reality, I found out that it is not so. They have no agenda. They have no agenda in trying to administer me Krishna consciousness, give me Mahaprasadam, teach me nice things. They don't seem to have an agenda. I remember the first time there was Gaur Purnima festival, and that was Holi. Right? In IIT, Holi means people would tear each other's clothes. I don't know how do they make it holy by doing that. Throw so many things on it. And there were hostels which were known for notorious activities. So nobody would go there. And our devotees' first base was in that hostel. And the devotee called me, come to that hostel. I thought, aaj sachai. The place which is notorious for this, they are calling me there and saying we are having festival. But I thought, how can I be non-courteous, cultured? So I went to that hostel. And right when I went to the hostel and parked my cycle, those fellows, other people were ready with so much of color. And they knew he's a first-year boy. And they were about to attack. And the senior who was preaching to me, he said, no, if you want to attack me, you have to go over me. And I think he was senior to them. So maryada bahut hoti hai. Right? So he spared me. And then in a dungeon, you take somebody like so many people there and beach mein, wo leke ja raha hai, aur andar ja raha hu main. और अंदर जा रहा हूँ अभी रास्ता भी याद नहीं आ रहा है कहाँ से अंदर गया कहाँ से बाहर आऊँगा and then right there they take me inside to a triple room and I was introduced to one or two devotees and I just went inside the room which was the outside was so passionate and when I went inside immediately the kirtans were going on Doyalni tai chaitanya bole nach re amar man, nach re amar man, nach re amar man, nach re amar man, nach re amar man. Doyalni tai chaitanya bole nach re amar man. And I said, where have I come? And there were almost 10 devotees in a small room. That was the first voice in IIT Kharagpur. That was the kitchen. That was the temple hall. That was the sleeping hall, that was the study hall, and every hall. And it was holy, but actually it was Gaur Purnima festival. And I didn't know it. And there with Devotees Association, I was just kind of figuring out what's going on. They were all cooking, prasadam, They were removing stones from, barai. So, एक ऐसे ऐसे कर रहे थे. मतलब एक भी there should not be even a little speck. They had got into that consciousness. अरे कृष्ण को ऑफर हो रहा है. हमारे सीनियर थे रेवतीपति प्रभु उनके बाल नहीं बट पूरा पहने हुए थे कि एक बाल नहीं करना चाहिए. मतलब I was like outstanding performance. And after the whole aspect, the festival, kirtan, and the evening there was prasad. And actually, because there are limited people, they had only cooked for the number they planned, and I was extra. And I was extra, and I took a lot of extra also. How did I know? And the young people are fed more prasadam, supposed to. So I took a lot of prasadam, but I was not full because it was Ekadashi. Then I went to the mess and again ate. But it kind of affected me as I celebrated with the devotees. And then again, when I was continuing, a small place manifested, a place where we could stay. Just after the end of the 1 year, a voice came up. And then I was staying with devotees. I was coming up and down, but then it felt so much to come up and down, I stayed with devotees. Right? And then Mangalarati, they had a tough time waking me up. And then again, services, festivity, preaching. I didn't know what is happening in the world and what am I doing coming to IIT. Actually, after those days, I forgot that I had come to this institute for any purpose. It was just like I'm now in another world. The first service I had was in the kitchen. And someone came to know that my first service in kitchen. So they said, Prabhu, you must be a very good cook. I said, Ruko Prabhu ji, purport deta hu. My first service in kitchen was vessel washing. And upgrade होके वहीं तक पहुंचा. एक बार गलती से स्वीट राइस स्टीरिंग के लिए दे दे. मैंने कहा प्रभु जी कितना समय? बोले लगे रहो. जब भारी लगेगा तब छोड़ देना. Because when it boils, then it takes a lot of time. So that I was doing that service. They were making me clean all the places. We went for a yatra, I remember, Jagannath Puri, 9 days. We had Krishnanand Prabhu also one visit, Bal Govind Prabhu, Vrajavasi Prabhu, and so many devotees. And 9 days, I was very serious, not sleeping in the day. And whole day going here, going there, ocean bath, sitting in the ocean. It was a small group of 10, 12 people. And we were there for a 9-day festivity in Jagannath Puri. Reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita in Gambhira. I didn't know who's this going on. I was just kind of exposed to all that. After the 9-day festival, when I came back, they told me in the voice, it is dirty, we should clean. So we cleaned the whole voice. Then I said, मैं room में जाके सो के आता हूँ. So they said, okay, go in the afternoon, come back in the evening. So I went into the room and slept at 3 o'clock, put my alarm at 4:45 to get ready and come back. And to my amazement, I got up at 4:15 only. When I opened the door, it was dark. I said, what happened? What happened to the weather forecast? I realized it was the next day. I didn't know how much tired I was. And like that, it was going on. One day there was Govardhan Puja festival. Everybody was making items. The room was small. 3/4 was prasadam and 1/4 for serving. Fortunate I was serving, so that I was not have to be attacked with so much prasad. And I was just reflecting. It just went on and went on. And I don't know if we had ever a time we could think that we could plan something. Before we make a plan, devotees have already made a plan. छुट्टी आ रहा है, क्या करेंगे? चलो कैंप. अब ये आ रहा है, चलो यात्रा. अब जाएंगे पूना, अब जाएंगे बॉम्बे, अब करेंगे ये. कहीं का नहीं छोड़ा. मतलब I didn't know, but I was liking it, by the way. It was never a force, and doors of the voice were not locked. So I could go any time, but I never decided to go. Somehow I remember once I was cleaning a floor in my second year, and I thought, I think this is good life. Why should you plan anything else in life? So kind of I thought in my second year only I had an awakening, that I think this is the life I will pursue. And by Krishna's mercy, that determination is still going on by the association of devotees. But I would say, like Narada boy is saying, Narada Muni is saying, attraction. Attraction. When you're in the association of devotees, the Krishna conscious infected people, at every instant, what do they speak about? Krishna. What do they, like I always say this, we sleep with devotees of Krishna. We get up and be in the washrooms with the devotees of Krishna. We compete with them, come to the temple hall with the devotees, to glorify Krishna, then eat prasad of Krishna, then study for Krishna, sleep for Krishna, camp for Krishna, yatra for Krishna, 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 and 2 hours Hare Krishna. So what would happen? So because of this association, so the phenomenon Narada is speaking to Vyasa is the phenomenon that is happening in each and every one of our lives. This is the mastery of Srila Prabhupada. This is the mastery of his followers. I would say this is mastery of His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu. To make a jet age Gurukul. A Gurukul right in the modernity or in the Chandamark Academy. We have our branch. We have little Pralads. We have our devotees. Each of them. And the way the Bhakti Vedantist Association created the attraction, it created for us. And reflect in our lives. Isn't this the magic that took place? Whatever you are studying in Bhagvatam has happened in reality. And if you continue on with the same principles, what does Prabhupada say? Attraction will lead to steadiness. Steadiness will lead to, attachment. Attachment will lead to bhava, emotions, and those emotions will lead to prema. What has happened and brought us till here? The same program is going to take us to Krishna's lotus feet. So we need to learn the science. We need to learn the science. Initially when the science was implemented, we didn't know the mechanism. Right? It was just the perfect fit. Prabhupada's movement is a perfect fit to bring out the product of Krishna consciousness. And even further, it is going to be the same perfect program, but we need to understand what is happening, what is the science of how it is happening, so that we will not be allured by the material energies call. Many times we come to Krishna consciousness and Maya ishara deti hai. In the mind, the talk starts going on. Hare Krishna walon ne pakad liya. This has happened, that has happened, this problem, that problem. For everything they have only one solution. The mind says, Socho! Right? But mind is Maya. Mind is non-devotee. Mind is enemy. How can you rely on the mind's advice? Whenever someone asks you something, करोगे? सोच के बताता हूँ. अगर आप अपने दुश्मन को पूछोगे कि क्या करें, थोड़े ना अच्छा एडवाइस देगा. Isn't it? So, we have to be beware. So this is the first point I would like to make, that it is the association of the devotees that we develop attraction. And we can all reflect in our life, that is what has happened. Right? And in the association, what happens? What is the message the Bhakti Vedantas give in the association? What do they talk about? Bhaktivinoda Thakur has a very beautiful song which is very endearing. He says, E mona durmati samsara bhitore podiya chinu ami. He says, oh wicked mind, you have brought me this ocean of samsara. Samsare bhitore ashi. E mona durmati samsara bhitore podiya chinu ami. Then what is it? Tavani jajan kono mahajane pathaya dila thumi daya kori more patita dekhiya kohile amare giya O he dinajan shuno bhalo kotha Ulasita habe hiya. So the devotees come and say, oh, you are in troubled situation, your mind is troubling you, your anarthas are troubling you, you are confused, you are frustrated, and this is happening. Oh, hey dinajan, shuno bhalo katha. The devotees give so much comfort and counsel and help you understand there is hope. Ullasita habe hiya. There is hope for you. And they say, No, I have gone to so many doctors, I have tried so many things. It doesn't seem to happen. Sometimes when you have an ailment and you go to so many doctors, it doesn't cure. He says, no, there is a Navadvip doctor who has come. Tomara tarite Shri Krishna Chaitanya Navadvipe avatara Toma he na kotho dinahi na jane Koribe na bhavapa. He says, what is the surety? It is going to happen for you. He says, Jagai Madai, great demons, so many people have been delivered by this Navadvip doctor. Sri Krishna Chaitanya. You also go, your deliverance is certain. Whatever be your issues, whatever be your problems, Sri Chaitanya's mercy will be due. Then one may say, but what about his authenticity? What is his authorization? Has he got a license? Who is he? Vedera pratigya rakhi baratare Rukma varana viprasuta Mahaprabhu name nadiya matai Sange bhai avadhuta Nanda Sūta Jaini Chaitanya Gosai Nijanama Korida Tarila Jagata Tumiyo Jaya Lohani Japaritra. This Chaitanya Nityananda, this Vedera Pratigya, the Lord has done Pratigya. Whenever there is a decline of religion and people find it difficult to become Krishna conscious, I personally descend to renovate the system and make everyone applicable in Krishna consciousness. So same Nanda Sūta Jaini Chaitanya Gosai, and same Balaram has come as Nitai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Sri Nityananda Prabhu have come to deliver the masses by giving them the holy name. Tarilo Jagata Tumiyo Jaiya Loho Nija Paritran. So in the association of Bhakti Vedantists, they tell us the problem, the diagnosis, the solution, and the after effects and the perfection. By chanting the holy name and by serving in the association of devotees, we will reach Krishna's abode. Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are filled with compassion and ras. Right? I was reading yesterday, when you chant the names of Gaura Nitai, there are no offenses. You worship Gaur Nitai, they don't take offenses. And Prabhupada, when he went to the West, he said, Nityananda Prabhu was taken along. Till now, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had established Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. But now when he is going to Paschatya Desh, we need Nityananda, who is Harinama Pradayate. And then he was established, just like we hear in Australia. Prabhupada established Gaurnitai deities. And nobody knew how to worship them. There were no Brahmanas. Prabhupada brought Gaurnitai, established them, and said, "Kaun karega puja? Haath utao. Brahman diksha de do." What should we do? Whatever you eat, you offer to them first. And what arrangements. Prabhupada chanted the holy name little bit and deity is installed. And then it is said Prabhupada goes and makes a fervent prayer to Nitai Gauranga. "My dear Lord, I am putting these devotees in your charge." It's like, when the spiritual master installs the deities, he says, the deities are in your charge, serve properly. But you see with Gaur Nitai, Prabhupada says, "My dear Gaur Nitai, I am putting all these devotees in your charge. They are neophytes. They don't know anything about deity worship. They don't know much about devotion. You please train them. Accept their service. They will sincerely try to do what I have told them. Rest, you renovate." Renovation. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. So it said the whole movement of Prabhupada is a collaboration of the two brothers and Lord Chaitanya and Prabhupada. They are all working in the same Sankirtan team. And Prabhupada, when he sees the whole movement spread, he says, this is Karuna. Parama Karuna Pahudoichan. And Prabhupada is in tears with gratitude. That, my dear Lord, it's only you and your blessings that you have made everyone get attracted to this Krishna consciousness movement. Because if that attraction does not come, so what was the program again for all the Westerners? They all were with Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. They heard Prabhupada, they took Uchchista Lepan Anumodita, they served, they cleaned, they spread the movement, whatever little qualification they had, they tried to assist Swamiji. And what happened in their heart? Attraction. Attraction to an extent, the Westerners, you can imagine they left their culture, their style, traditional Indian wearing, clothing, eating, come to India with such, less facilities, and they preach Krishna consciousness in India with all austerities. Women, children, how? This is attraction, this is prema, this is like that loving sentiment. So the whole Krishna consciousness movement is a testimony of this aspect of association with the Bhakti Vedantas. And that is how the transformation. So in the association of the Bhakti Vedantas, we will learn about devotional service. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. So that we develop some attraction for Krishna, for devotional service. When we hear. We are hearing, so that there's cleansing happening, and then the attachment can happen. Prabhupada says, we may have our karma, we may have our anarthas, due to which we are not becoming steady. चालू करते हैं, फिर कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. घर का प्रॉब्लम, मन का प्रॉब्लम, नहीं तो मैं ही प्रॉब्लम बना देता हूँ. Right? There is no problem, so I create one problem. So like that, there are so many problems which does not allow us to steadily go on. Then Prabhupada says, no problem. What should you do if you are not feeling spontaneity or attraction? He said, continue chanting Hare Krishna and being in the association of devotees. All your abhadra, all your bad karma, all your anarthas, the bhakti unmukh sukruti and everything, karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. And Krishna, Prabhupada writes it interestingly. Prabhupada says, if you do bhakti, Krishna will adjust your karma. He says, so that Krishna consciousness will not get obstructed. So if you are not feeling okay, then be in the association and chant Hare Krishna. Continue on. Mandir marjan karte raho, uchchista lepan karte raho, lage raho. And what will happen? By the time you snap, a rasa will come on you and you will feel, no, chalenge, साथ में चलेंगे, आगे बढ़ेंगे. So many problems, no problem. They will go ahead. So Krishna will bless in that association, it says. So that is the power of the chanting of the holy name and the association. And then Prabhupada makes the next point, right? So we spoke about how Atma Ruchi happens. We spoke about how in the association of the Bhakti Vedantas that Atma Ruchi happens. And that is the break point for a person to become committed to Krishna's lotus feet. Right? That commitment happens in that association of devotees. And then Prabhupada speaks the science. He speaks the science. What happens? What will we hear about? We spoke. So Prabhupada says that when we are in the association of Bhakti Vedantas, right, we eat their remnants. So Prabhupada says there are infectious diseases that take place when you eat from a person who's infected. If somebody has tuberculosis, somebody has cholera, somebody has smallpox, this is what Prabhupada speaks, because those times these were very prevalent. And said these are very infectious. वो छीके या आप खाए, immediately effect. So he says they are isolated so that they will not infect other people. But then, if by chance you get infected, you also get TB, you also get cholera, and that infection spreads. So the whole world is full of infections. And if you go out now, the whole festivity is going on in Calcutta, Bengal. Then the whole world is lit. If you go there and you give your heart, some infection may come. Right? This world is full of infections. We should be beware of those infections. But then Prabhupada makes a point, how can we not be infected? How can we not be infected? So then Prabhupada says, if you are infected by a higher infection, then you will not be infected by the infection of this world. So param drishtva nivartate. He said we have to be infected by a higher infection of the devotees. And what is the infection of devotees? Krishnaika sharanam. What is the infection of devotees? Krishnaika sharanam. For everything in life, my dear Prabhu, I depend on you. I have problems, I have anarthas, whatever it be, you are there for me. Sarva dharman parityajya ekam ananya bhakti. The devotee's quality is कुछ भी उनके लाइफ में हो जाए, कृष्ण के चरण कमलों को नहीं छोड़ेंगे, उनकी प्रेमा भक्ति को नहीं छोड़ेंगे. ये डिवोटी का इन्फेक्शन है. Anything happens in life, he'll find a way out and he will keep continuing to love and serve Krishna. That means he is attracted and he is in love with Krishna. Even in our lives, whatever you are attracted to, you will make sacrifices for the one you are attracted to. Yes or no? If a boy falls in love with a girl or a family is attached to each other, for them they will do so much sacrifice. And do they feel suffering when they sacrifice? No. So when you come in the association of devotees, you will see devotees doing it for Krishna. So you have heard the philosophy about wonderful Krishna and wonderful Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and in the association of devotees, you see the live exchanges between the Lord and his devotees of devotion. And when you see those live experiences, like when I was growing up in the college, one of the reasons I got inspired immediately is we had our senior devotees. Our Revatipati Prabhu, he was gate rank 1 or something. He was really good in his studies and everything. And of everything I saw him in his life, he is only putting energy to becoming Krishna conscious and helping all of us. And whatever property he had, whatever resources he had, everything he used for Krishna service. अपनी बाइक खरीदी, वॉइस को दे दी, वो चले गए पूना और वहां भी सेवा कर रहे हैं. तो मैं देखा यार बंदा कर क्या रहा है. He's so madly in love, right? So when you observe the devotees and you see them, they have this attachment for Krishna. And they say this, they're sacrificing and they're happy. They're extending, they're happy. Sometimes devotees do so much seva that they do pranam and they sleep. Or they go to the mosquito, want to sleep and they're flat. And they're happy about it. To do it for Krishna. So seeing their attachment for bhakti, come what may. And I have seen so many case studies of devotees, so many difficulties. So many difficulties happened. But they kept to Krishna consciousness. Right? They kept to their commitment. They never blamed, they never criticized, they never cursed. So many difficulties happened. Right? They went on. So then, when you see a genuine exchange of love, that creates the attraction in the association of devotees. That creates the attraction. And so you stay with those people who are always talking about Krishna and demonstrating their attraction. What will happen to the people who are around? Sangha sanjayate kamaha. Because of that Sangha, strong desires and attachment will come in my heart also. I had not desired, but it came. Right? So spiritual desires get planted in the heart in the association of devotees. As Prabhupada is saying, just like a virus or a bacteria comes from the other person into the heart, into the system, and you get tuberculosis, cholera. उसी प्रकार भक्तों का जो इन्फेक्शन है भक्ति का, उनके साथ रह रह के हम पे भी इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है. Right? And that is why people are very alarmed when people go to devotee association. Well, some problem is here. Yeah. Something happens, some magic happens. From selfishness, they start being selfless. Everyone in this world is Ami ki pabo, hisab kitab. What will I get? What will I get? And you come to this association, what can I give? What can I give? How much more can I sacrifice? He has done so much sacrifice, I will do more. ये कौन सा कंपटीशन चल रहा है? दुनिया में एक दूसरे को पछाड़ते हुए लोग आगे भागने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. और यहाँ पे अहम पूर्वम, not to grab, but to give. So when you look at a person like an environment of selflessness, that again creates amusement. Right? Because this is not heard of in this material world. I give this example. There was a company trainer who was training his people. So they had about 20-25 people. So they said, okay, let's do a game. They blew up balloons. And on balloon, they told, write your own sweet name. So they all wrote their names. And he took all those 25-30 balloons, put them in one room. And then he said, we need to get the balloons in the minimum amount of time. Everybody needs to get their balloons in the minimum amount of time. On your mark, get set, go. And immediately everyone started, hitting each other, running ahead, get into that room. And they were so conscious, how do I get my balloon, that they burst many balloons. दूसरे का तो अस्तित्व ही खत्म. And by the time they were like, and the ones who could not were harassing, and the whole commotion happened. Many minutes, few got balloons, and I believe the others blew that off also. Unable to tolerate their success. So the trainer said, good work, come back. And he brought all of them. He said, let's do it again. He again made them blew all the balloons, and again write the names. And he said, and he put them in another room, and he said, on your mark, get set, and don't go. Let's talk about something. He said, now when you go, right, the contest is to get the balloons in the least time. So now when you go, help others find their balloon. Right? And then he said, go, not pushing around. And they all went. In less than a minute, everyone got their balloons. No balloon burst. And everybody was happy seeing their sweet name on their sweet balloon. So this is a world of selfishness, and this is a world of selflessness. And that you find in the association of devotees. And that amuses us, because this is the quality of the spiritual world. Prema's premise is, I don't think about myself, I think about the beloved and others. That is the premise. And the premise of this world is, I only think about myself, and if you can do something, then I think about you, for me. Otherwise, you're deleted from my equation. Right? अगर मेरे लिए तुम मैटर करते हो, तो मैं तुम्हारे बारे में भी सोच सकता हूं. नहीं तो तुम हो या नहीं हो, मुझे क्या लेना देना. This is material life. Any collaboration, there has to be some lusty affair of a desire. No attachments without any output that will come in the relationship. Everyone you talk of relationship, if there is no give and take from it, will you have it? At least the world, the way it trains it. And in Krishna consciousness, when you come in the association of devotees, there is selflessness. You become Krishna conscious, you get your balloon. You get Krishna. You become happy. And what do I get return? More service. More opportunity. Right? I'm not able to do it feelingly. Please bless me so that I can feelingly serve you. What's going on? He's saying he will serve me, and he's praying that he should get feelings to serve me. Right? So then, by being in the association of the spiritual world, because Prabhupada said, we have made Vaikunthas. So basically, Vaikuntha is the language of the spiritual world. So the language in the association is also of that of the spiritual world. So then when you stay in the spiritual ambience, which is the replica of the spiritual world, where you live see exchanges of Lord and devotees, Krishna reciprocates. Krishna is not behind. As I said, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda are also active. Right? Incognito. And the devotees are alive. You can see them demonstrate Krishna consciousness. And when you are in that association, then we get seriously infected by the same bhakti attitude. Same bhakti bhav affects us. And that infection prevents us from getting infected by the material aspects. This is called param drishtva nivartate. Unless we get infected by this service attitude to serve the holy name and serve devotees. Now one may say, Prabhuji, agar मैं सेवा करता रहूंगा तो मेरा क्या होगा? Right? This mera kya hoga is the biggest problem why we don't like to serve. In this world we think, if I do, what will happen to me? Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayisvami mashas. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahami aham. Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam ego bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Krishna is saying, your maintenance, your success, your anarthas, everything I will take charge. You take charge to follow the process my devotees are teaching and dedicate your life. And remaining all charge, I will take. And actually I have only taken. I work through you. If you are not there, anyway I have to do. You know, I like to speak this aspect of prachetas. You know, prachetas were doing tapasya and Prachin Barishad was waiting. Father, bachcha log aayega, unko raja banayega, shadi karayega. But then Narad Muni preached to Prachin Barishad, sent him to jungle. Right? Now prachetas come home, father gone, already preached and became Hare Krishna. So prachetas, when they become successful, Lord Vishnu comes. And Lord Vishnu says, okay, there is a girl there, Marisha, you know, under the care of the trees. Get married to her. For all of you, she is suitable. And then you rule like this, and this should be your wealth and opulence, and then you will come back to me. So when I was reading in the Bhagvatam, I said, ये शादी करा रहे हैं, family set करा रहे हैं, ये सब क्यों भगवान कर रहे हैं? क्यों? क्योंकि प्राचीन बरिशद who is supposed to take that responsibility has already gone away. Vishnu takes that responsibility to get them a girl, get them married, get them settled, get them devoted, and perfect their life. And again he will send Narada Muni at the end, at Vanaprastha also, to get them safely back. Right from the onset to the perfection, the Lord has taken responsibility. And this Krishna is saying again and again. When did he not say it? Right? So this is the conviction. And this is how are we investing? Everybody has confidence. Like one time we were serving, there was prasadam, about 3,000 people, 4,000 people prasad. So some of us were called for serving prasad. I remember the senior devotee said, पहले जो सर्विंग के लिए आए हैं खिलाओ और फिर प्लेट भी बनाना है बनाओ. So they made us eat unlimited quantity of all the special prasad and also said you can pack and keep. And then they said, now you serve. And there were 3,000 devotees and we are serving prasad. And some items are becoming less. So the people are saying, अरे अपने लिए भी थोड़ा सोचो, कोई चिंता नहीं. भगवान पे भरोसा है. Everybody, evam prasanna manaso, with beaming smile, they are serving unaffected whether it will get over or not. Why? Because we are already taken care. So this is how bhakti works. When you serve, आपका plate already बना हुआ है. Right? And imagine that plate is not there, that nourishment will be awarded in your heart by Krishna. Krishna is, he can do anything with any sense. So the assurance in the association of devotees is when I serve, Krishna takes responsibility. And you will see this is another aspect you will again and again hear. Kaunteya pratijanihi. हाँ, अरे मेरे भक्त ने दाव पे लगाया है, कुछ हो जाए तो अरे कुछ भी होगा, मैं हूं ना कॉम्पनसेट करने के लिए. Arjuna says, my dear Lord, somebody may take to devotional service like a cloud. He started from one place but couldn't reach to the goal. He fell off. What to do about? Krishna says, no problem. Anyone who has started this auspicious effort, there is no loss on this path. If he starts a little and he cannot do, I'll send him to heaven. Make him enjoy whatever he wants so that he gets exhausted. I'll frustrate him also a little bit. And then bring him down, give him birth in aristocratic families with stinking wealth so that they can do devotional service. What if they do more devotion? Bhakton ke, family mein janma dunga. You start a little, Krishna will take responsibility. You do more, he will take responsibility. For anything he will take responsibility. You fall, I'll compensate. How much Krishna in the Gita is giving assurance and assurance and assurance. So in the association of devotees, you see devotees live exhibiting this quality of Krishneka Sharanam. And then you get convinced, hum bhi lagayega, hum bhi invest karega. I am also ready for making this loving, attractive proposal. And you will see when you become Krishna conscious and you allow, you invest in this game, how much happiness you get. How much cleansing of heart happens just by engaging in service. Prabhupada says, pravrittasya, by engaging in so many services and activities of preaching, serving, organizing, whatever you're doing in the association of devotees, he says, cleansing of the heart happens. And the attraction develops. And all of us, we can reflect how much happiness has come into our lives, being Krishna conscious. This is a practical experience. We know when we were not devotees how we were. And now we are devotees how we are. Now also we are frustrated sometimes कि थोड़ा problem है. Right? Earlier our frustration was पूरा problem है, कुछ तो करें. Now the enjoying capacity has increased so much that we cannot tolerate even a little bit of not having enjoyment. बोले प्रभु जी इसको भी solve कराइए. I want to be, आनंदाम बुद्धि वर्धनम. सारा defect निकालना है. we become so confident of the process. So this is the magic in the association of devotees, that Vyasadeva is listening from Narada Muni. And he says, in conclusion, that by taking Bhakta Pada Dhuli, Bhakta Pada Jal, Bhakta Bhukta Avashesha, Teen Mahabal. He said these are the Teen Mahabal which gives us devotion. And what does it mean by taking these three things? It means you become a sold out servant of the Vaishnavas. किसी का तो दास बनना ही है. Yes or no? You have to become servant of somebody. Choose the master. Better to get a qualified master. And what is his promise if I become his servant? The whole world, selfish agenda. Only here, selfless agenda. So, when we actually become subservient to the devotees and dedicate our lives to cultivating devotion, Mahatpada Rajobhishekam, that kind of connection and following, right? We have that connection, and in the association of the Bhakti Vedantas, we engage in serving the devotees and serving the holy name. These two things. Commit our lives in the association of devotees and serve devotees and serve holy name. We don't have to think about anything in return. At least this is the principle. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriya Aikya Arana Kari Ho Mane Asha Shri Guru Charane Rati Ei Se Uttama Gati Je Prasade Pure Sarva Asha. You focus on one Asha to serving the spiritual master and devotees, and when you get that Shri Guru Charane Rati, the power of that Shri Guru Charana is Je Prasade Pure Sarva. All the heartful desires will get fulfilled in Krishna's way, in our lives, in the most beautiful way. So we will not miss anything. Right? We will not miss anything that we were supposed to, but we'll get it in the most special way, and Krishna will qualify us more and more. So these are some of the imports that we see from this particular verse of how Narada became a great devotee. He became Narada, the transcendental spaceman. And even in our lives we can reflect how this transformation has happened. And if we continue to take the same principles, we have come so far, we will go ahead. From attraction to steadiness, to attachment, to emotions, to love. Success is guaranteed. It's for us to learn the science and apply the science of Krishna consciousness and help ourselves and recruit as money. जो हाल मेरा हुआ है, मैं दूसरों को कैसे छोड़ सकता हूँ? I will make their lives also happy. I'll make their lives also sublime. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Mahapurana ki, Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
His Grace Prem Svarupa Prabhu ki Jai. So let us, it's so very wonderful. Prem Svarupa started our camp with a very, very deep, encouraging class, helping us understand that how this association, and Prabhu also gave us the blessing in the beginning, that may this association of Chaitanya Prabhu, Radheshyam Prabhu, which is coming up, may help us in such a way that by the end of this camp, we can also reach to the ultimate goal and destination of love. And thank you, Prabhu, for telling us about how we should commit our life fearlessly, because Krishna is maintaining and